Now, I can hear some of you already, but Barbara, if I start at 62, I get 8 extra years of checks. I come out ahead. I hear that one every week, and it's the most expensive piece of math in retirement. Because here's what that thinking misses. Social Security isn't a pile of cash you're racing to scoop up before it's gone. It's a paycheck for life that you cannot outlive, with a raise built in nearly every year. And the bigger your check is to begin with, the bigger every one of those raises becomes. Think about this. This year, benefits went up 2.8%. That's the cost of living raise that just took effect. 2.8% on a small check you grabbed early is a few dollars. That same 2.8% on a bigger check that you waited for is a bigger raise. And then it compounds on top of itself year after year for the rest of your life. The gap between the two doesn't close as you age. It widens. Now, folks love to ask about the break-even age, the point where waiting finally pulls ahead of claiming early. And for most people, that line falls somewhere between the late 70s and the early 80s. So the real question is simple. Do you expect to be around past your early 80s? And given everything we just said about how long people actually live, most of you should be planning as if the answer is yes. Beat your early 80s and patience wins, often by a landslide. And here's the piece that people get most often wrong: how long they're going to live. And we all picture ourselves not making it much past the average, but a healthy 65-year-old today has a very good shot at their late 80s. And for a married couple, the odds that at least one of you reaches 90 are higher than most folks ever imagine. You are likely planning for a longer life than you think. And the longer that you live, the more that patience, that bigger check, rewards you. But let me be careful here because this really matters. Claiming early is not the same as needing to claim early. There are some people that should just turn it on at 62. If your health is poor, if you've lost a job, if you simply need the income to live, that is exactly what it's there for. And there's no shame in that at all. But claiming early out of fear because a headline rattled you, that is the one that quietly costs a family thousands and thousands of dollars. And that is the one that I want to protect you from. I'm thinking of Dennis, healthy as a horse, good savings, a wife younger than him, but he read one too many scary articles, convinced himself the whole thing was about to collapse, and flipped on his benefits at 62. He wanted to get his while he could, and he locked in the smallest possible check for life out of pure fear. Nothing collapsed, and Dennis left a great deal of money on the table that he can never get back. I don't ever want that to be you. And here's what I want you to understand about Dennis. He wasn't foolish and he wasn't careless. He was scared. And scared is a perfectly human thing to be when the headlines are loud and the money is yours. But fear is a terrible financial advisor. It is always in a hurry. It always wants you to act today. And it never once stops to think about the version of you who is 85. The whole job is to make this decision from the calm, not from the fear.